Hi everyone, welcome to the next episode of the Digital Mittelstand. My name is Can and I help small and medium businesses, so Mittelstand, to optimize, digitalize and automate their business processes. Today I have Lucas Bechtle with me, and Lucas is the founder of Digital Future. They have established the company 5 years ago. They are doing headhunting, especially for Mittelstand companies, to find their chief digital officers. The way they work is quite unique, I believe. Therefore, without any further ado, hello, Lucas. Welcome to the show.
Hi, John. Thanks. Nice to be here.
Thank you for being here. Can you please introduce yourself and Digital Future?
Sure. So my name is Lucas Bechtle. I'm 30 years old. I've studied actually law and economics. And I basically fell into the headhunting industry by accident. I actually started to work in a company that did headhunting for startups when I still was at university. And then I saw that this is my passion. And I also wanted to keep on working with people that drive digital transformation or digitalization. And basically this was also the idea of founding Digital Future. I founded the company 5 years ago with my partner Nico. And we are an executive search boutique company and are focused on digital innovation. That means that we help small, medium-sized companies, Mittelstand, but also corporates, to drive their digital transformation by hiring the right people. So that's basically what we do. We are, as I mentioned, a boutique company. So right now we are 10 people, and that's actually also the size that we want to stay at.
Yeah, thank you for the introduction. And when first you told me about what you do in Digital Future, I said, yeah, that's quite unique in terms of Mittelstand and in terms of CDOs. So well done for that, first of all. But let's start with the basics. So why do you think that Mittelstand needs a chief digital officer role?
Well, I believe that every Mittelstand needs a CDO role, and then also every Mittelstand needs the CDO role to be located into the managing director. So really at the top level of the company. My idea is, or also what the CDO has to do in a Mittelstand company or in any other company, is that he needs to really drive the digital transformation of all units. So it's not only focused on technology or IT, but he is also the one that is driving the digital transformation through marketing, through sales, through HR. And this is especially in the times of the COVID pandemic. I think every Mittelstand realized this is something that you need. You need to be able to give your employees the possibility to work from everywhere. So you need to have complete digital work streams or workflows, and this is also, I think, that a chief digital officer does.
Yeah. So thank you. You explained why they need and what in a nutshell a chief digital officer does. But then here comes to another question into my mind, that you are providing recruiting services, but when you find a CDO for a Mittelstand company, does your service ends there, or do you have something more to that?
So basically our service, I would say, starts before even the company knows that they need a CDO. This is where our service basically starts. So we usually reach out to Mittelstand companies and try to always talk to the C-level, and then we try to give them an idea of why they really need this person. And then we are basically like a consultant, digital consultancy. And really the first steps is to really define where the company is right now, where they want to be, and how do they get there. And then we then decide, okay, you need somebody on C-level who basically is in charge of the whole digital transformation. And this is basically the CDO. Then we start to look for him. And once the CDO is at the company, of course, we always keep in touch. We always see where we can help, and most of the times we also help them in then building the team under the CDO. So yeah, our business partnerships, most of the times they last over quite a few years, because we start with the first hire and then we really help them and also create the whole unit.
Yeah. So you create the awareness for the need of digital transformation so that you also help us to do our business. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. But as you said, what I see in general is hiring a CDO doesn't solve the problem because it's a one person, right? And you said something great that you build the teams under the CDO. So of course, especially in Germany, the size of Mittelstand is from very small to very big still in comparison with other countries. But how does a team under CDO look like?
Actually, it always depends also on the size of the company. Most of the times you have under the CDO, of course, you have basically project managers, you have business development managers, but you can also have a tech, I would say a little unit of tech guys, if the CDO is the one that wants to find new digital products or new digital business models. So if you have this kind of CDO, you basically have like a whole little startup within the company. So you have data guys, you have tech guys, of course you have marketing guys, you also have business development guys. So the team can be really big, but you also have a few Mittelstand companies where there is the CDO on top, and then they maybe have one or two project managers that are working with him, and they try to work through the whole company. So it's quite different. It depends on also the idea or the ambition that the company has.
Yeah. Thank you for that. And I think you said something very interesting, because you said that the CDO or the person who is responsible of digital transformation should be a managing director, so should be as high as possible. I am pretty much convinced why, but can you please let our audience know why this is so?
I think that this is really the key point of every successful story of digital transformation in the Mittelstand. Because if you have a CDO that is, so to give you an example, some companies, for example, they have, of course, on the C level, they have managing director. One is the general manager, the CEO, then they have a CFO, and then usually they have a CIO or CDO, whatever they want to call him. So the one who really looks over the whole technology landscape. And some Mittelstand companies, they take the CDO as a position that is under the managing director and is reporting to the CIO. And in this case, the chief digital officer is really like blocked in the way he can work. And there are always conflicts between the IT guy and the digital guy. There are always conflicts. So you need to put them on the same level, and he needs to report directly to the general manager, to the CEO, because this is the only way he can really have his reach and have the leverage to really do the digital transformation over all the units. So that's basically the idea why I'm always telling them, if you want a CDO, don't do it on director or VP level, but you have to do it on managing director level.
Yeah. And otherwise, the unending war between IT and business will not be solved. And from my point of view, chief digital officer should also have a business knowledge, so to say. Not necessarily background, but business knowledge. How do you see this?
Yeah, it's definitely right. So he needs to really be a guy. I'm 100% convinced that he needs to have a tech background, or at least he needs to know his way around technology. Let's put it that way. But he needs to have the business relation, to have it's also a type of person. So you need, as a chief digital officer, you have to be a great communicator. You have to be really good also in doing change management between all the different units. So you need to have this business aspect. That's one of the most important things. And also, if you're just an IT guy, it's quite different for you to have a look over sales, over marketing, and all the customer experience and all those things.
Yeah, and you said something very interesting. CDO should take look after change management, for example. So if there is only one guy, it's too much for him to do.
It's impossible, yeah.
Therefore, you need a team. But we also see a lot of Mittelstand has, as you said, a CDO, then a couple of project managers underneath. So they try to do it in source instead of building the team from scratch. So they hire or they involve person A from team B or department C, but it reflects that this company should trying to do something. And I have nothing against, but just wanted to emphasize that there are multiple ways that a CDO can work, but none of the successful ways have include only one guy as a CDO. So it's a teamwork and it's a mindset throughout the company.
Yeah, definitely. And change management is actually, I believe, one of the most important things in a digital transformation, especially in Mittelstand. You always, or you usually have people working there and have been working at the company for 20, 30, 40 years. So people that are really, they know the company from scratch or really from the beginnings. And if you come as an external guy, as a chief digital officer into the company, the first thing you should do is to really take the fear of the people, because the older guys sometimes they have a bit of a fear, or they think that their job might not be there in a few years because of the digital transformation. So that's the fear that many people have, and you need to really go there, talk to them, explain them. It's for you also, it's a leverage if we do stuff like this, or if we put a solution behind some of your work stream. It's easier for you to work and you can be more productive. So these are all things that you really need to explain, and that's basically a big part of change management.
Exactly. Or provide them meaningful work by, if they are copying data from source A and pasting to source B, and that's the only thing they do throughout their working days, then you can easily automate it and give these people a meaningful work. They can speak with customers and they feel more involved. So you touched upon a good point that people are afraid of losing their jobs. In Germany, that's almost impossible because we have a lot of shortage in businesses, and especially Mittelstand having problems hiring the right people. So by digital transformation, you can use your own resources because you free their time by using technology and give them meaningful work. So this is a win-win situation, actually.
It is a win-win situation, but the people need to understand it, and that's the difficult part.
Yeah, but that's why exactly you said that was very important for me, that it's a change management and it should be seen as a change management. So that's why a CDO needs a team. But I think the most exciting part of our podcast is when the guests give use cases for Mittelstand. And can you give us some use cases how digital future helped Mittelstand companies?
Yeah, I can definitely give you a use case, which is of course I can't say any names of the company because it's all confidential in our job, unfortunately. I thought if I could give you an example that where I can mention the name, but I can't. But I still can give you a use case which is actually quite similar on a few different projects or companies that we've worked with. So basically, as I mentioned before, we usually reach out to Mittelstand companies, and this was a company that produces heating, so heating devices. And we usually we have our sales funnel, our leads, or companies that we think could benefit from our help. So I reached out to the managing director of this company, and I just actually sent a mail over and asked them to have a conversation to see if we can help, to see where they are right now with their digital transformation, and if there is any plannings on their side to change something. And so we had a first discussion. It was in times before Corona, so we actually met, which now, well, it seems that now it can be possible again at some point. But so we met, we went to the company, and we actually went there, and there were like 6-7 guys sitting there. So basically the whole management was there, and we were coming in quite young guys, and we had a great discussion. And he actually told them that just a few months earlier, they were having a management discussion about how they can improve a few parts. So basically, really, how the sales funnel, how they approach customer, how they talk to customers, how customers can also buy again from them. So also to how to hold the customer. And so actually a few topics where they wanted to improve. And then we basically wrote down a strategy. And as at the beginning, I told them from the very first time, you need to find somebody in the management board, a chief digital officer. This is the first person you should hire, and then you can hire the team together with him. They didn't want to do it at the beginning, so they said, no, we want to do it 2 levels under the management. And I said, okay, we can, of course, we can try to look for somebody, but I'm telling you, it's not the right decision. In the whole part where we were looking for the right candidate, I always talked to them in every job fix, and I always told them, you need to rethink this. You need to put him in the management boards. You need to really have him on managing director level. And at the end, I convinced them, and they really found a guy who is now the chief digital officer as a managing director. And then we basically really built a team, and I think right now they have 12 people in the digital unit. So for a company that before that they didn't have anybody in the digital unit, they really and also the owner, he was the one that really at the end, he is the one that decides, and he was really behind the board. He could still do a few projects, and he could also drive the digital transformation to some point. But he will always have conflicts with the CIO or with the IT, and at the end of the day, he won't be happy, so he will leave, and they won't be happy because they have to look for one again.
Yeah, that's what I wanted to hear actually from you, Lucas, because at that level he will be always like in prison. So he will have some space, but at the end of the day, it's so limited. Because the real benefits of digital transformation starts from the top level. Otherwise, yes, we all can, as digital transformation enthusiasts, have some effect on the company. However, you don't have a leverage. So the effects will be so limited. And I hear this not only from clients, but also from consultants that we work with. So from the digital transformation experts, that hiring a chief digital officer without really being chief doesn't really help the clients. And I want our audience to hear that from you as well. Thank you for confirming what we were also thinking. But it's always good to hear the same stories, because it's always repeats itself. The truth always repeats itself, and thank you for being part of it. But before we close, Lucas, what's your top suggestion for Mittelstand owners or managers to apply right away?
My top suggestions, number 1 is hire a chief digital officer. And I think actually the easiest way to, of course, like I think the whole digital communication and working from home, basically all the Mittelstand companies should have it by now. But I think the easiest way to really also see results is to look at, depends also on which industry you are, but is to look at how do you talk to your customers. So this is most of the times, this is a place where you can quite easily, with some automatization tools or also with some software that is already on the market, you can quite easily improve this. So you just need to buy knowledge from outside. You need to buy software from outside. And if you put this into the company, you have quite easy results within a few months. So I would really suggest, of course, hire a chief digital officer. Then the first thing you should look at is how do you talk to your customers, because the customers are the one at the end of the day that pay your rent, that give you the money, and there is a lot of improvement possibilities.
Yeah, thank you for that, and I find this suggestion quite tangible and applicable, which is also important. So thank you for that. How people can find you, Lucas?
They can find me actually everywhere in the internet. So I'm quite active on LinkedIn. Of course, I'm on Sing, but I don't use it that much. They can also text me, send me a mail directly. So my email is everywhere on our website on digitalfuture.de, and yeah, so they can also call me. I'm always open to have calls to exchange ideas. So just reach out.
Thank you, Lucas. Thank you for your insights, and it was a pleasure to having you here and learning from you.
Thank you, John. Thanks for the invitation. It was really nice.
Ciao. I release one episode every Tuesday at 7:45 a.m. and also other videos for digital transformation. If you like the content, please subscribe, and you can reach me out anytime by my email. Here it is. And thank you for visiting my channel.